Aloha. In this video, I'm going to be talking about muscular and verbal de-armoring and what that means to me. The first time I heard the term armoring or de-armoring, I was reading the work of Alexander Lowen, who was a student of Wilhelm Reich, a very powerful somatic psychotherapist in the school of analysts along with Sigmund Freud. And basically the idea is, especially as men in the world, but this applies to men and women, we collect armor in our musculature, in our face, and in our body, especially in our posture. We collect armor based on traumatic experiences that literally can store inside the body. So if you've heard the phrase, the issues are in the tissues, and you've also heard maybe of people having spontaneous emotional and energetic releases during massage and body work, that begins to lend some credence to this idea. And I've personally been experiencing it by training in bioenergetics and Osho active meditations. There is a lot stored in the body and a lot stored in the tissues and especially in the muscles about how you can clench up and have this armoring. And so a big part of the awakened masculine and a big part of being a man in this new paradigm is de-armoring. It's actually going in and releasing this armor and these holding patterns, neurotic holding patterns that store in the muscles. And some of the techniques that you can use to access this energy and release it is breathing. Very deep breathing. We've been using the Wim Hof method. There's several types of pranayama in yoga that can do this. And specifically bioenergetic, full open mouth, open midline breathing. If you search the work of Wilhelm Reich and Alexander Lowen, you'll hear a lot about this. That's the muscular side of de-armoring. Very powerful work. The other side is the verbal de-armoring. So like our tissues, many of us are holding patterns and locking in armor, which is defense mechanisms against feeling and against trauma we might have experienced, and we don't want to experience it again, so we wear verbal armor and program our language, our pronouns, our adjectives, our adverbs in such a way that we don't want to feel. And actually, a very profound thought I had on a call earlier today was, are we going around with our language being trained to lie? Are we trained to lie all the time? I'm not talking about malicious lies meant to take away truth. I'm talking about maybe the self-pitying, the white lies, the obscuring of information that seems to be very common in the world. Is this a type of verbal armor that we're wearing? Are we going around speaking? Am I going around speaking in my day-to-day if I'm not being very aware and I'm not being guided by love and compassion? Am I going around speaking in such a way that's managing others' expectations and actually managing their ego and managing their verbal armor and thereby their musculature armor? Is this a way I want to live? Is this a way anyone wants to live? This is a question I have for you. I'd love to hear your perspective on this in the comments. If you've experienced either the muscular armor or the verbal armor that we can wear, and if you've heard of techniques to release it. For me, a very powerful technique to release it, as you see what I'm doing, is speaking in I statements, speaking very clearly, uniting the energy and emotions and feeling energy inside my body, my actual sense of my body with my language, and not just keeping the language right here or right here, just to one side, just the left hemisphere. This is a technique for language and verbal de-armoring. Body work, massage, active meditation, a clean diet and healthy living, clean hydration can literally help purge toxins out of the musculature and lymphatic system and help you open up, open the posture, open the body, open the breathing, and thereby open your language, taking off the armor we've worn so long. And I'm speaking really to men in this video. I'm speaking to the men of the world who have been wearing this heavy armor and may have been wearing it so long that they forgot it's on them and they think it's actually their skin. And so this is my invitation to you to de-armor verbally and in your muscle system, in your body, opening to receive new information without needing to defend or attack in response and retaliation. That's my 2 cents. Thank you so much. Share this video if you think someone could benefit from it. I'd love to hear your perspective in the comments. And as always, turn on notifications for live videos. I'm going to keep sharing what I've learned in my work, my path. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love all of you. Mahalo.